Hi everyone, it's Sophie Franks, your InterVarsity campus staff minister in Upstate East for Binghamton University, Colgate University, and Broome County Community College. And I'm so excited to share what God has been doing this past spring. I also want to invite you to really lean in because this is God's story and all of us are a part of it. So you have a part to play in the praise reports and the testimonies that I'm about to share. So our prayer and our hope is simply on campus as it is in heaven. And I'm so thankful again for your part to play in this story. Really quickly, what is InterVarsity Christian Fellowship? Everything we do is in response to God's love, grace, and truth. I like to boil it down to we do two things. We grow in love for God, and we share God's love with others. So how we do that, we simply host spaces for people to encounter Jesus, whether they've grown up in the church or whether they're a new Christian or whether they're just curious about God. So we host weekly prayer meetings, Bible studies, and large group with worship teams and faith discussions and community for a witnessing presence on campus. And what that means is that anywhere on campus at any time, there is an opportunity for students to encounter Jesus. We also share God's love with others. Outreach is a huge part of our DNA because we believe we want to be witnesses. And that's not just something that we believe, that is something that we see clearly in Scripture. So doing regular outreach events, being a witnessing presence on campus is something that is who we are as Christ followers. So I can't wait to share with you what God has been doing at Binghamton University. We tried something new this year called a Vineyard, and it was an opportunity to share testimonies from students who have been following Jesus for their whole lives or students who just came to faith a year ago. So it was inspiring. And to make this night happen, we did a ton of outreach events to invite campus as a whole to hear how God had transformed students just like them. So something that I want to highlight is just underclassmen taking risks for Jesus. They were serving ice cream, they were greeting people, they were sharing the gospel, and that was so amazing to see our underclassmen actually stepping up in boldness. We also have a faculty and staff Bible study on, there's a picture on the top right, and that's been thriving. My co-leader is a woman named Chanel who works in the Be Healthy department, and we want to see God transform faculty, not just students, because faculty matter too. We also saw transformation at Bible studies on campus. One of my favorite stories of the semester is a student named Darius who was knocking on doors, inviting people to come to his Bible study. And he didn't really expect anyone to show up, but someone did. His name was Leo. So Darius is in the purple shirt on the picture on the bottom left, and Leo is in a picture at the bottom row in the black shirt in the same picture. And it's incredible because Darius's faithfulness to knock on doors led to Leo coming to his Bible study and Leo coming to conferences where he could hear more about Jesus. So at Basileia, which is our summer conference, students were able to grow in love for God through worship, prayer, and scripture. And there was public testimony about healing from loneliness, which is a really big problem on college campuses today. There was also a longing for heart transformation, for God to transform hearts, because we can only legislate holiness so far, right? We can only say, I have to read my Bible every day. I have to pray. There's an aspect that is only God can do. And also students were testifying, like, we just want God to be Lord of our lives, not just something that we do on the side, not something that we push to the side, but we really want God as Lord to be the center of our identity. Another story is from Broome County Community College. So the first picture on the top left is a prayer walk that we did of the campus about a year ago, and then we planted. And the plant now has 12 students. So God is growing the community exponentially. We actually have about half of the chapter attending Basileia, which was so exciting because Basileia, like the discipleship that happens in 1 week, is incredible. We're also looking for God to open doors at Broome County Community College. We're not yet a recognized student group, so please pray for favor. We also recognize that we need more women in the chapter to step up and to lead, and we're longing for a women's Bible study there next semester. So please keep that in your prayers. And lastly, at Colgate University, Colgate, there's 3,000 students there. They've been growing in passion for evangelism, hosting weekly outreaches, taking risks. And I want to highlight a student named Sarah who's pictured on the top right. So she is a recent alumni, and she decided saying yes to serving as a full-time campus staff minister. So please pray for her that God will protect her and provide for her to answer this calling. Another thing to know, a lot of the Colgate students attended Basileia this year. And I want to highlight, like, there was testimony after testimony. On the bottom right, a student named Hannah, she's an underclassman, she prayed over everyone in the room to have this urgency to share the gospel. So I love that photo of her. I love that she stepped up. I love how she's so young, right? Like, God is at work in this generation. This is not just the future of the church. This is the church. And lastly, ways to pray and partner with us. Pray for harvesters for the harvest. Pray for sustainable mentorship for students. We're longing for our upperclassmen to invest in our underclassmen and pass off what they've learned. We also want to see transformation from holy huddles of Christian people doing Christian things to becoming witnessing communities, right? Campus should look different because students at Binghamton, Broome, and Colgate were faithfully serving Jesus. We're also looking for more partners. So if you would like to volunteer at an InterVarsity campus near you, please connect with me. I'd also love to invite you to consider volunteering at Selah, our fall conference. It is October 2 to 4. And we're also raising scholarships for students to be able to attend. So a peek behind the curtain, I get about 30 to 40 scholarship requests every year, and we never want to say no to a student in need. So we'd love to invite you to prayerfully consider giving to the Student Scholarship Fund so that we can send students to be equipped and empowered and sent on behalf of King Jesus. Again, thank you so much. There's so much more I could share. If you want me to reach out to you, connect. I have monthly ministry updates. I would love to share at your church or give you a call. But our prayer is simply on campus as it is in heaven. And thank you for being a part of this ministry. God bless. Happy summer.